Yamata no Orochi, not to be confused with Orochimaru, has amazing strength and vitality stats that you need to take advantage of. What's up, YouTube? Zero here, and today I have an epic tank build for Yamata no Orochi in Shin Megami Tensei V. Now in this video, I'm going to go over the stats and the skills you need for this build. Then when we get into some gameplay, I'm going to say why these skills are absolutely amazing to have on Yamata no Orochi. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to go over the essences you need to make this build work. Without further ado, let's get into the stats. So you can see I have a vast HP at 652 and MP at 271. The main stats you want to focus on are going to be strength and vitality. Mine are at 77 and 86 respectively. Now the skills, catastrophe, which is a severe physical attack to one foe. Then only our second attack on this build is going to be Fire Draco Strike. Now I'll talk about why we want Fire Draco Strike on this build a little bit later in the video, but this is a medium fire strength based attack to one foe. Then I have Fierce Roar, which draws enemy hostility but increases your defense by 1 rank for 3 turns. Physical Pleroma increases physical attacks. Great Life Spring, which increases max HP. Enduring Soul, which is going to endure a lethal attack and fully heal once per battle. Resist Physical, which strengthens resistance to physical attacks. And Retaliate, chance to counter strength-based attacks with a medium physical attack, and it does not stack with counter. So now that we've gone over the skills and the stats, let's get into some more gameplay and talk about why these skills are absolutely amazing for Yamata no Orochi. First, let's talk about the offensive prowess of Yamata. Now we don't have a lot of moves. We have Catastrophe and we have Fire Draco Strike. Catastrophe is a nice move to have that's going to hit most enemies and not be resisted. Yes, there are a few enemies that are going to resist or absorb physical type attacks, but it's very rare. So Catastrophe is a nice move that's going to hit a lot of enemies very hard because it is a severe physical type attack. Fire Draco Strike, particularly at the end of the game, is going to be very useful. It's a fire type move that a lot of endgame bosses are weak to. Nua is one of those bosses who's weak to fire. Lucifer, one of the endgame bosses, depending on the path you choose, can also be weak to fire at particular points during the battle. This is why Fire Draco Strike is absolutely amazing to have on Yamata no Orochi as a backup to Catastrophe, because it can hit a lot of bosses at their weakest point. And of course, Physical Pleroma is going to increase our Catastrophe, and Retaliate, which is going to be offense, is going to help us retaliate against enemies when they do hit us. Because of course, now we go into the defense, where first let's talk about Fierce Roar, which draws enemy hostility. This combines very nicely with our Great Life Spring. Of course, we're increasing our max health, and you saw earlier that we have a vast HP pool now, and that works really well because a lot of enemies, especially end game, are going to try and hit you with physical type attacks that you're going to be able to retaliate, well, counter, but retaliate in this game. On top of that, we have Resist Physical. Of course, as I said, a lot of enemies are going to try and attack you with a physical type attack. So resisting physical is really nice to have because it's going to be harder for the enemies to whittle down your health. On top of that, you resist their attack and then you retaliate, most likely dealing more damage than they dealt to you. We also have, again, Physical Pleroma that's going to increase our physical type attacks, which is really nice to add to our Retaliate. This build is absolutely amazing, and all of the skills really work well with each other. Enduring Soul is just another way that we can keep Yamata alive even longer. Once an enemy is finally able to whittle down your health, despite the fact that we do have a lot of great resistances on Yamata no Orochi, you're going to revive with full health. Enduring Soul is absolutely amazing to have on any tank character. So now that we've gone over the skills, let's get into where you can get some of these skills. Now, just by either fusing Yamata or leveling him up, you can get Catastrophe, Fire Draco Strike, Great Life Spring, and Physical Pleroma. So it's really nice. You can get half of the moves just by leveling up Yamata, and I do recommend leveling him up because Lucifer endgame is going to be level 85. If you want Resist Physical and Enduring Soul, Cerberus is a great essence to fuse into Yamata. Abaddon is another great essence to use because he does have Retaliate, and if you don't want to wait leveling up for Great Life Spring, Abaddon also has Great Life Spring. Orthrus is a great essence to have for Fierce Roar, but if you don't have an Orthrus essence, Ganesha also has Fierce Roar, and also has Physical Pleroma, again, if you don't want to wait for leveling up Yamata. Chernobog also has Retaliate if you don't have Abaddon's Essence for Retaliate. So that's where you can get the essences for this build for Yamata. Let me know in the comments section if you have a similar build on Yamata no Orochi, or is yours completely different? I'm interested to hear other builds on Yamata. Of course, this is an RPG in which there are unlimited builds that you can put on any character, so I'm interested to hear how you built your Yamata. Are you going to use this build on your Yamata now that I've told you an epic tank build for him? Again, let me know in the comment section. I'm interested to hear what you think of this build. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. For more Shin Megami Tensei V content, I do a bunch of other role-playing games, so feel free to check those out as well. It's the weekend for me. If it's the start of your weekend, have a great weekend. And if it's the start of your week, just have a great week. Until next time, peace.